Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am here to introduce a new project for 2025. Well, it's not a new project necessarily, it is a new introduction, I guess, of a project that I started last year. So this is a project that I had never done before. It's quite popular here on YouTube, but I had never personally done it before. But I did start it last year, and that is Panda's face palette. So again, I've never done it before, but last year I did pan my Hourglass Ambient Edit Ghost palette, which was a roaring success in the end because I managed to finish the whole palette, which was very exciting. I posted my finale a couple of days ago, but I want to keep it going for 2025, and I want to do another Panda face palette. So I'm gonna introduce you to the day palette that I've chosen today. I'm gonna also talk you through a little bit my kind of thought process and stuff like that, and I will let you know, of course, what I ultimately picked. But before I jump into that, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. Let's jump into the video. So I did post a couple months ago a plan to pan video where I talked about all of the different options for Panda face palette. And I basically included all of my face palettes in that video because I don't have too many in my collection. So I wanted to give you an option of all of them. It was partly to give you guys your kind of votes, but also to just show you my thought processes and stuff like that. I have, of course, taken your vote into consideration, but when it comes to my Panda face palette, I have also picked something that I personally want to work on quite a lot, just because I feel like I have to work on it for whole years, and it's something that I want to commit to. It's also something that I want to work with every other like face product that I want to use, just because, you know, I want to pan some other face product this year, and some of the palettes that I mentioned would have made it harder to finish other products. So that's kind of like some of my thought process. So when it comes to the face palettes that I put up, there was a couple that were really high up there in votes. One that I actually have decided not to go with, but it was a very popular vote, is the Benefit Cheek Stars palette. That is a palette with a couple different blushes, a highlighter, and a bronzer. And again, it was one that was very highly rated when it comes to votes, and one that I did consider for a while, but the main reason why I didn't pick that one is because I feel like then it would hinder me from using everything else, because I do want to finish some, well, at least one single blush this year, as well as some other face products. And I feel like if I did work on that palette, it would be like the only face products that I could even try to like attempt to finish. Because if I wanted to get close to having the palette act empty or have good progress on it, I would have to put every other face product panning on hold, which is something that I wasn't prepared to do this year. So that is why I didn't pick that palette. But for the other palettes, there were definitely quite a widespread on what to pan. But the palette that I decided to go with is a sister palette, because I had a similar palette from the same brand, and they got quite a few votes as well. So I did feel like it would be enjoyable for you guys to watch. It would also fit into the panning that I want to do this year, and that is my MAC. What is this one called? I haven't even looked at it yet. It's the Extra Flashing Eyes Extra Dimension Skin Finish Trio in the shade Light. So this is a highlighting trio. I will insert the footage what it looks like. So it has 3 highlighters. It has like a more of a white type of based highlighter, more of a bronzy highlighter, and then a kind of like a duochrome highlighter that goes from pink to gold. It is super, super beautiful, and I'm very excited to pan this one, just because I feel like it's going to be an easy palette to reach into every day, because I have every type of highlight that I need for a year. And I also feel like it will be one that I might be able to get through fully as well. So this one has 9 grams in it. That is the main reason why I picked this one and not my other MAC highlighter palette, which is the one I talked about too, which is like a sister product. But this one has less grams, and I also feel like these shades are more wearable for me. So the reason why I picked this palette more than that, of course, is that last year I did a really, really good job of finishing up highlighters. I finished up 4 highlighters in my collection. So I feel like this year I want to focus on other kind of single products. And I'm happy to have this palette as my highlighters for the year. So instead of focusing on like single highlighter pots or stuff like that, I am happy to stick with this palette. And that was the main reason why I picked it. So yeah, I'm excited to work on this palette and see how far I can get with it. Again, since it is only 9 grams, I do think I might have a good chance of finishing it up. This shade here is quite light for me, but it would be probably good as a mixer with this one in winter time. And I do also have to play with it on its own, but you can see right there on my finger that it's quite a light product. The middle one is a beautiful product, but it's a little bit deep for me right now, but it will be perfect for summer. And then the pinky tone highlighter there on my ring finger is a perfect shade for me now. So I feel like they will work for me all year round. This is the one that I have been like, because I've been trying with this palette a little bit, but that is the one that I've been reaching for the most, which is that pink tone highlighter. I haven't said what they're called, by the way, but the lightest shade in here is called Glitzed Out. Then the center shade is called There She Glows. And then lastly, that kind of more pink tone highlighter is called Out on the Tinsel Town. So those are the 3 shades. Again, I think that pinky tone highlight is going to be my main focus for now. Then I'm probably going to mix these 2 as well now, like in the beginning of the year. And then when I start getting a tan and stuff like that, that bronzy shade will be an absolute perfect highlighter for me. So again, I'm very, very excited. I'm going to swatch it out on my hand too so you can see. But yeah, you can see the 3 highlighters right there. And I think they're just going to be absolutely stunning and all I'm going to need all year for highlighting. So I am very excited to have this one. And of course, I will track my progress. I will track my usage every month to see how far I can get with this one. They are a baked formula too, so I think that's going to be quite fun to use. They usually look very beautiful on the skin. So yeah, overall, very excited for this one. I hope you're excited with the choice that I picked. It's going to be a little bit different from last year because obviously last year I did do a palette with different type of products. So I did a highlighter, there was finishing powders, there were blushes, bronzes, everything in there. Whereas this one it only has highlighters, so it might be a little bit more slow moving because I can't, of course, reach for like all of these shades every single day. But we're going to see how I get on with it. And same as last year, I am going to wear this palette and I'm going to track weight on it so I can update it every month. And this palette now at introduction weight 99.90 grams. That is my starting point for this palette. That is where I'm going to kick it off. And the palette, like I said, has an advertised weight of 9 grams. And in order to finish the palette, that means I have to finish up 0.75 grams every single month to be on track, because this is basically mostly a brand new palette. I've only reached for it a handful of times. So that's what I'm going to try to do. We'll see if I'm able to do it or not, but that's going to be like my, kind of goal line, I guess, to see how I get on. But I'm going to wrap up the video here. I really hope you enjoyed it. Last thing before I finish this video, I did announce it yesterday, but I'm going to remind you again today if you haven't seen my finale for my palette palette that went up yesterday. But I have decided to post every single day in January as well. I'm going to carry it on because I did do it now in December for the most part. I did have some internet issues at the beginning of December, so I did not complete Vlogmas completely. I think I missed about a week. But I am going to continue posting every single day in January, so you can stay tuned for another video going up tomorrow. So I'll catch you then. Bye guys!